Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim, who's out there in four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Barak them. So here we are again, out in Little Egypt, aka Babylon the Great, prophesying the downfall of this place. But a lot of people think that it's not going to fall, even though they can see store closings everywhere, and that this fall is not engineered. But it is falling. And we're seeing more and more businesses closed. We're seeing the mirth of this place being destroyed. We're seeing farms being destroyed in the Midwest, by way of these storms. And here it's supposed to be spring. It's supposed to be sunny. It was sunny for a couple days, but now back to raining again, so there's a lot of change in the weather. Things are not the way they're supposed to be. This whole thing is out of balance. So what do you think is going to have to happen in order to balance this whole thing out? Pretty much the animals are suffering under Esau, I mean, if you hadn't seen the video where dolphins are being cut off and severed and just left in there, because these goddamn red Hebrew Edomites who destroy everything. Not even the ancient Egyptians would do these things to the animals that Esau Edom does. But you see, Esau Edom is a bastard, because here it is, he's proclaiming to be us, and he's proclaiming to be all these other nations, which bastard, when you get right down to it, means illegit. Illegit. Because they never legally occupied these areas, and when you do end up in another area, you're not to remove historic landmarks. But that's all that Esau does. And then he puts his images up there and says he's the people of that land, And so you got a whole world in a state of confusion. And that's what Babylon really means, is confusion. Genesis, aka Phil Collins, wrote a song called Land of Confusion. Here it is. People don't know whether they want to be a boy or a girl. And you're being taught all these confusing things, and you're taught that it is confusion, when in fact the word of the Most High tells you how to live right. But you see, being around these Babylonians, you eventually become confused, and that's just it. If you don't go with the homosexual agenda, then you're confused, you're just confused, or you're aka bi-curious, and that's what the Egyptians will tell you. That's what these Edomites will tell you, that, well, you're just confused, or you need to find your inner child. You need to find your inner woman. You need to find your inner man. All these philosophies, because people still go to Teeman for counseling. Even though they're counseling, well, what good is it going to do? Is it really bringing the jobs back? Is America really great again? Well, that means you would have to enslave somebody, right? To make America great again, because that's how it's made to be great. We built that. We built ancient Egypt. We built Little Egypt. We built this modern day place on our backs. And who are the workaholics? 12 tribes of Israel, because Edom, he don't do shit, man. Finds every excuse not to work, And that's just it, though. You find out that, the reason for all the outsourcing and all that, they call it outsourcing. If you hire an Israelite, and they're willing to work for a little less just to have those hours, they call it outsourcing. And no, man, these Edomites don't want to do anything, because, of course, they pretty much are laziest people that you ever met. Like I said, this is a couple months later, they finally did clean up the brush, but they could have done that on a regular sunny day, from the storm. The idea, though, is to do pruning and trimming, so when a storm does hit, snowballs, snowing or whatever, the branches don't break and fall on your house and all that. But you see, very careless planning. That's because they've been living deliciously, and slowly but surely the cuffs are coming off of us. But, these bastards that dwell in Ashdod right now are drawing everybody into this third woe. Now Donald J. Trump has responded to Vladimir Putin, when he said, well, why don't you move your troops from Syria? Well, now Donald J. Trump, as a show, this show that he's supposedly got a bigger dick than him, he's going to increase troop activity in Syria. So pretty much they're showing each other up, they're sizing each other up, for this third woe. And this third woe is coming quickly. as you can see, though, that the economic crashes are all purposed for one thing, to bring in that final enslavement, the mark of the beast, the RFID implant. It's in all the healthcare plans. That's what Obamacare was years ago, you know, and that's where everything's gearing towards, you know, the RFID implant to track everyone, you know. And Donald J. Trump definitely was a player in this. So I'm going to read out of Malachi chapter 4, starting verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Most High of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. And so that's talked about by way of the nuclear destruction and by way of them chariots. This place is going to be totally destroyed. Remember, it only took 2 chariots to take out Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, because this has many cities in it, it's going to be by way of all those things, nuclear missiles, and of course by way of them chariots. There's going to be many of them. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. So, you know, those of us that have children, you know, that have been awakened to this truth, we're going to raise them up in this truth. You know, those that are teachable, you know. Of course, you know, this puts enmity between us and the rest of the world, but we've already learned to separate from it, for we are blessed by this. And you shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Most High of Hosts. So what's going to happen is we're going to be up there on the chariots judging this place, man. And we're going to destroy this once and for all. And we're going to enjoy watching it be destroyed. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. So, you know, the very last thing that's in Deuteronomy chapter 28, that we'd be brought into Egypt again, but yet this place shall be destroyed by fire. And we're going to see that. So finally, we're going to see the end of our captivity. That's why there's no better time than now. Even though, yeah, I mean, how many generations have we lived not knowing that we were Israelites, but now knowing that we're Israelites, being brought into this truth and seeing that we have this truth and the rest do not. They won't comprehend. Or those, oh, okay, I accept this, but I don't accept that. So they won't take the whole truth. They won't eat the whole roll. You know, these are curses that will be coming on. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Most High. So we're coming in the spirit of Elijah, going out there and teaching in the spirit of Elijah. And we know who Elijah was in the reincarnation. And here it is, though, was passed down to Apostle Tahar, because he's the one that's been keeping it, and the apostles now of Great Millstone, you know. But we know that Elijah had already come, and his time was here. You know who I'm talking about. And he shall turn the heart of the father to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So pretty much, though, you know, those that are coming into this truth, because Elijah has already come and given this truth, and now it's being proclaimed on the streets. Camps are popping up everywhere. You know, people that always wanted to get out of Christianity are coming into this, as well as those that just pretty much, they knew they had more purpose, and that everything around them has been bullshit. You know, this whole thing is bullshit, you know. They tell you that, oh, if you work really hard, you can achieve what you want to. Well, I see lots of people that worked hard all their life and never achieved anything. And it's not because they didn't want to, but it's because that's all bullshit. But you see, the veil is being lifted. And who is lifting the veil? That we now see this. The Most High himself has lifted the veil from our eyes. That is the Rikal Kadash, you know, by way, you know, of this word, the water. And we have everything to be grateful for, you know, as we see others perishing around us, not knowing this truth, still in the dead state. We have the joy in knowing that we're overcoming this. We just got to hang on a little bit longer. And that's why we stay diligent coming out here and teaching, because we don't want to be that part that gets spewed out for not teaching. You know, that's no longer on fire. You know, it's not a time that we back down from this, but rather that we keep going forth and teaching. And that's why, whether it be rain, snow, or even thunder, yeah, I've come out during the thunderstorms too, you know, and I'm just one man. But we all do this. We do this because we are compelled, not because it's, oh, this is an opportunity to become famous, or because we're just, want to do this because we're looking for friends. We don't have any friends because of this. Because of what we proclaim, because of what we teach, we are isolated from our friends and family that we once knew. We are totally separate. That's just it. The Most High Himself is doing the sifting, because, but we're coming together in one under Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, and teaching, whether we be one man over here, 2 or 3 over there, or a larger camp such as LA or San Francisco or New York, we're still coming in the same accord. It's kind of funny. I'll teach on a subject, and then I'll find out before I even watch the video, hey, somebody else was just teaching on that same subject. So how can this happen if I never even watched that video? Am I just replicating it, or is something greater? You see, that's the Rakal Kadash. We're all in agreement with each other. And we'll know who's not teaching in Rakal Kadash because they're easy to detect, because it comes with another idea or philosophy. We know who's in Rakal Kadash and who isn't. So, again, time to be diligent. I mean, a couple of years ago was a year of death, diligence, and destruction. We've seen a lot. We're still seeing death and destruction for those that aren't diligent, But most of all, though, we're going to see a lot more. This is just the beginning of sorrows, when we're seeing all these other things take place. This thing's about to wrap up, So for all that, I hope it's been edifying. Until next time, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakal Kadash, Barak Dam. Hope it's been edifying. Death to America and death to the 2/3 that don't want to live right.